Hello and good morning everyone, especially to my lecturer which is Madam Ninilin and Dr. Jasmine. I am Afifah binti Mokhtar from BA242 and today I would like to present about my industrial training report which is MGT666 as the last course for my degree in finance. First thing first, I would like to talk about the company's profile. So I am highly appreciated that I managed to do my internship at Sabah Electricity Sdn Bhd, which is located in Semporna. This company was established in 1998 and the establishment of this company is to provide electricity energy to people in East Malaysia, especially those who are in Sabah and Labuan. The main stockholder of this company is Tenaga Nasional Berhad by 80% and the state government of Sabah by 20%. By using system grid, SESB can generate, transmit, and supply electricity to people in Sabah. And the CEO of this company is Dato Sri Hassan bin Arifin. Next, I would like to talk about the theme color of this company. The theme color is gray and red, and the tagline is "Your light is our pride," which reflects the company's commitment of their jobs. And then the logo. The shape of the logo, as you can see in the pictures below, the slanting plug denotes continuous electricity supply through technology-driven workforce, innovation, and good work habits. So this is the organizational chart of SESB Semporna. As you can see in the Department of Finance, there is Puan Misna binti Labenga. I would like to inform everyone that she is my supervisor during my internship program in SESB. Because of her guideline and teaching me about work-life related in finance, I can enhance my skills in the finance department, and I believe with the knowledge that I gained during my internship, I can apply it during my real life working situation. So I believe that every company should have their own vision and mission. As for SESB, their vision is to be resilient, reliable, and viable utility to the country, especially in Sabah. And their mission is to provide quality energy services that are efficient and expectant to the community. So we move to the next agenda, which is my trainings reflection. Before we go in detail about my training reflection, I would like to give a brief explanation about my working schedule in SESB. So my working hours were from 8 a.m. to 5:15 p.m. and the working days are from Monday to Friday. And for student intern, we don't have overtime. And moreover, SESB provide me an allowance of RM 350 in a month, and this allowance will be given in a lump sum at the end of my internship program. So what I got from doing my internship for 6 months under SESB is, firstly, I can utilize my knowledge into real life working situation. For example, on how to make an invoice, on how to make PR, purchase requisition, and to calculate the money received in a day, and also to calculate claim of staff. Even though these tasks don't require me to calculate a very complicated and complex calculation, I managed to do it successfully. And not just that, I also learned on how to use SAP system. I use SAP system to check the meter reading result. Not just that, I also noticed that the relationship between leader and staff is very important. I can see this in SESB Semporna, whereby Encik Soleh, the big boss in Semporna, treats everyone equally without being biased. I think this is very important so that the staff will invite each other. You know that every company have goals that they want to achieve. So by having a good and strong relationship between the team members, I believe they can strategize their plan on how to achieve their goals. So to conclude, it is very important to have a good relationship between the leader and team members so they know how to make things work together. And lastly, from my trainings reflection is I think I need to learn new language as much as I can, because during my internship, I noticed that most people who come to the office will use Bahasa Bajau as their method of communication, which is hard for me because I don't really understand Bahasa Bajau. And for me to understand what they say, I have to work on that languages. Next, we move to the SWOT analysis of this company. So SWOT is referred to the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. For the strengths of this company, firstly, is committed staff, followed by high earnings, and then good working environment and culture. And lastly is the strong financial support from the government. And the weaknesses is an efficient mission, record check keeping still manually, less manpower, and lastly is the building is quite old. For the opportunities, they have my SESB and to open more job vacancy. And lastly is the program by the government. While for the trades, firstly the unexpected weather, especially heavy rain, and then tariff rates that can change because of many factors. And then lastly is the illegal electricity connection by the customer. I would like to give explanation in details about this SWOT analysis in discussion and recommendations. For the discussions and recommendations, I will talk about the strengths first. So the first point, we have committed staffs. From what I saw while doing my internship for 6 months in SESB, I saw that all the staffs are working faithfully and diligently by following the rules and regulations set by the organization. And secondly is the high earnings. I would say that the SASB in Sampurna has its competitive advantage because they are the only office that provide electricity to the people in Sampurna. So all people in Sampurna will use their product and services, which contributes to the demand of this company will increase. So indirectly, the earnings of this company will also increase. And then the third one is the good working environment and culture. I do believe that I have mentions about good relationship between leader and members. So from that, if you have a good working environment and culture, I believe that the job satisfaction will increase. You will provide a better and a good quality of services to the customer. And lastly is the strong financial support from the government. The state of government Sabah has supplied amount of 26.4 billion to the electricity company so that they can improve their quality of job. So my recommendations on the strengths is, first, the company should give a bonus or appreciation awards to the staffs. And the second one is they should find an initiative on how to increase the customers' loyalty as the demand of this company keep on increasing. And lastly, it is best for them to spend amount of money on the maintenance costs so that they can keep on improving their product and services to the customer. Secondly, for the discussion and recommendations, I will talk about the weaknesses of SASB. So the first point is the inefficient machine. While doing my internship in SASB, I was assigned to guide customer on how to use machine kiosks. But sometimes the machine will keep on rejecting the customer's money, which lead them become frustrated to use the machine. So my recommendation for them is to use my SASB to make an online payment instead of using the machine kiosk. And the second weaknesses is the check record keeping still manually. What I mean by this is, one of my tasks in SASB is to record the check received in a day. However, in order for me to record all the check received, I have to write it down on a piece of paper, which is for me will lead to a paper waste. So my recommendation for them is to change the method on how to record the check keeping. They should use Microsoft Office such as Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. And the third weaknesses is less manpower. The front office only have 2% that handle customer directly. So if one of them take a leave, the other one cannot take leave. They should take leave in different day. They cannot take leave at the same day. So my one and only advice is for them to open more job vacancy. And the last weaknesses is the building quite old. I will provide a picture of the building because this building in SASB was built in 1990 if I'm not mistaken. So the building really old and it's very dangerous to the staffs. So my suggestions is for them to create or build a new building, or they can renovate the current office. Other than that, the discussions and recommendations of opportunities in SASB. So what I found, the opportunities of SASB is firstly the My SASB. Currently, the technology advancement keep on increasing. So I believe most of the company right now are using technology. As for SASB, they have created an application which is My SASB. From My SASB, customers can make payment and check their bills. This is more convenient for them, so they don't have to walk into the office to make payment. They just can pay by using My SASB. So my one and only advice for them is to download these apps from Google Store or Apple Store. And the second opportunities is to open more job vacancy. As I mentioned in the weaknesses, one of the weaknesses is less manpower. So this can be an advantage to the company to open more job vacancy, especially to those who are fresh graduate. And then the last one for the opportunities is program by government, which is the IKASI. IKASI can decrease the payment of the customer's bill by RM40. I believe that by having this system or program, the demand of this company will keep on increasing. So they should find a method on how to keep the loyalties of the customer. So lastly, the discussions and recommendations on trades of SASB is firstly the unexpected weather, especially during heavy rain. I believe that you cannot perform any electricity services during heavy rain because it will bring harm to the staffs. So my recommendation is for them to not perform any disconnection and reconnection during rainy day. And the second rate is the tariff rate. I believe that tariff rate can be changed. I think it is because of two factors, which is political and economical factor. For the political, if the government change, the tariff rate can be changed too, because tariff rates are set by the government. And for the economical factor, if the gas price increasing, hence the tariff rate can be changed too, because gas is one of the power source material to generate the electricity. Hence, My recommendation is for the vendor or supplier to negotiate with the company, and for the customer, they should decrease their electricity consumption during the tariff rates increasing. And lastly, for the trades is the illegal electricity connection. This is very dangerous because it will lead a wildfire in that area if the kilowatt hour is overload. And illegal electricity connection, also known as the energy fraud. So my suggestions is, if the customers are being caught red-handed of doing this energy fraud, they should be given a penalty. And for the company, they can use SVM system. So the conclusion is, I learned a lot during doing my internship for 6 months in SESB. From this time forward, I strive to give more of my potential in my career and not to limit myself to explore new things as much as possible. I seek to create and bring positive, sustainable values to the world, to many more opportunities ahead. Thank you.